But seriously, fives can be tough eggs to crack, and they keep things pretty close to the chest, so sometimes you're not even sure how to show them that you care. Have no fear, my friend. Here are 5 ways to do just that. Starting with probably the most important thing you have to know about the investigator personality. Say something difficult happens. They get fired, their car breaks down on the side of the road, a natural disaster is coming to their town. Their immediate reaction is to lead with their minds. What are the facts? How can I analyze this logically? For the more heart-based types like 2s, 3s, and 4s, this can be pretty confusing. It can kind of feel like 5s are callous and just don't care. It's a frustrating stereotype that still persists about 5s, even with as much knowledge as we have about the Enneagram, that 5s are emotionless robots. But the truth is, 5s feel all the emotions. It's just that they don't publicize them. You know, they want to deal with them in private. So what you end up seeing in front of you is someone who has set their emotions to the side in order to analyze the situation logically. This isn't not caring. It's a form of protection for their hearts. So if a 5 is really going through it, don't ask them how they feel or try to empathize with whatever feelings you think they might be having. Instead, ask them questions so that you can help them analyze their situation from an outside perspective. Then, and this is key, listen to them like a 5 with clear observation and curiosity. That is the way to a 5's heart. But if you want to know what gives them a heart attack, what keeps them up at night just like absolutely dripping with sweat from panic, it's incompetence, aka a 5's biggest fear. It's the reason why they spend so much time and energy collecting knowledge and making sure that they're self-sufficient, so they never have to say that dreaded phrase, I don't know. I love how Enneagram godmother Suzanne Stabile describes this in her book, The Path Between Us. Incompetence and inadequacy are central to a 5's fear. There is never an appropriate time to discuss either one lightly. So essentially, if a 5 trusts you enough to share that they're feeling incompetent, don't treat that lightly. These feelings of inadequacy hit right to the heart of a type 5's core fear, and you want to make sure you're treating it with the seriousness and respect that it deserves. I like to explain 5s by comparing them to a big old glass of water. At the beginning of the day, as they leave their home to go interact with the world, they hopefully have filled up their cup of water, their inner resources. Because the last thing they want to be is caught unprepared and end up dehydrated. So when unexpected stuff comes up, 5s freak out. They didn't prepare for this. Their energy, their resources, their very being is in danger of being catastrophically drained. But I don't want you to get the wrong idea, because it's not like 5s don't enjoy being around other people. I know that's a stereotype that goes around. It's just that 5s view the world as intrusive. So they want to make sure they're as prepared as possible before they go spend time with people that they love or people that share similar interests. A lot of 5s are introverts, yes, but there are also extroverted 5s. And being an introvert doesn't mean that you hate being around people either. It's why in my team workshops, I'm always hammering this home to team leaders. 5s thrive on predictability, so don't spring last minute stuff on them like an unexpected meeting that definitely should have been an email. But there is one thing they wouldn't mind being sprung on them. The best example of this is Ross from Friends.
Hey, what are you doing Friday?
What?
I need you to come to this bachelor party for my weird cousin Albert. You know, he's the botanist.
Oh, God. Yeah, botanists are such geeks.
Yeah. Is that a dinosaur tie?
Hmm? Oh, yeah.
Who I firmly believe is an Enneagram 5. And if you want to see my reasoning on this, I actually made an entire YouTube video about the Friends cast and the Enneagram. But one of the reasons why I think Ross is a 5 is anytime anyone asks about his passion, dinosaurs, he gets so excited. Because 5s manage their uncertainty about the world by collecting knowledge, this means that they often develop an intense interest in certain subjects. Take this woman from one of my workshops who gasped when we got to the 5 section. She was like, oh my God, my husband is definitely a 5. When I asked her why, she was like, his YouTube watch history. Because they had recently bought a new stove and he wanted to learn how to cook the perfect steak on it. What she discovered on his watch history is the most 5-ish thing I've ever heard. Videos of Gordon Ramsay cooking steak, step-by-step steak tutorials, the history of steak. There were hundreds of steak-related videos. But the wildest thing is this was months after they had already achieved making a wonderful steak on their stove. Because it's not just getting an answer that's fun for 5s, it's the joy of learning. And part of that joy of learning is sharing what they've learned with their loved ones. So a wonderful way to connect with your 5 is to sit down and ask them about topics they care about. You may need to bring a snack though, because it's probably gonna be a few hours. After you get that quality time, however, don't be upset if your 5 kind of wants to withdraw from you for a little while. It all goes back to that glass of water analogy. 5s need time to refill their water glass alone. But I know it can be so difficult to not take this personally, especially if you're a romantic partner and especially if you're more extroverted and you get recharged by being with the people that you love. It's like, if you love me, why do you need a break from me? But it's important to understand that a 5's need for solitude actually has nothing to do with you and everything to do with self-care. They need time alone so that they can be the best version of themselves for you. But I'm sure you know it's not all cupcakes and rainbows and dinosaurs when you're in a relationship, and sometimes it can be really hard when you're struggling with the difficult parts of loving a type 5. You know, I'm talking about the annoying things they do that make it hard to communicate and have compassion. Which is why in this next video, I break down the most difficult obstacles about being in a relationship with a type 5 and what to do about it.